Prepare to roll with the punches. In a new tale penned by Nature Guy X46. A friendly game night takes a turn for the worse. When the die is cast, some players find themselves in deep trouble. Will anyone make it out alive? Or will they all be bored stiff? It's a game where the stakes are grim, and the only way to win is not to lose your head. And now, I give you Peril. 5 friends have gathered together to play a new board game that one of them just bought. The game is called Peril. The idea of the game is to stay alive. The game is played by rolling the die, moving spaces, and picking the horror cards when asked to. It'll be interesting to see who dies and who will be the lucky survivor. This time there will be 5 people who will be playing the game. They are all sitting around the dining room table while April sets up the game. Terry, her husband, removes the cards from their rubber band and sets them on the board, while Sam, Lucas, and Amber are all talking. The game is all set up, and now all they have to do is pick their game pieces. April picks the Medusa, Terry the ghost, Sam picks the gallows, Lucas grabs the werewolf, and Amber picks the Grim Reaper. Now April reads the rules. This is Peril, the game that has life and death consequences. Players will pull from the horror cards to see what fate has in store for them. The player who is alive at the end of the game is the winner of said game. You must live with the consequences. Set the number of players on the player dial. Amber sets the dial, and April pauses long enough to see the dial set, and then she continues reading. Players roll their die to see who goes first. After rolling, players will go in the order of their rolls. When asked to draw a horror card, players will have no choice but to draw and obey. Now the game is ready to be played. One by one, they begin to roll the die for their turns. April rolls a 6, Terry rolls a 1, Sam rolls a 3, Lucas rolls a 2, and Amber rolls a 5. With that done, the thunder booms and shakes the house as Terry rolls the dice for the first time. He gets a 2, but nothing happens. Lucas picks up the die and he rolls a 4. The space says to go 2 spaces. He then has to draw a card, and it says, "You get off lucky, stay and rest." Sam rolls a 5 and lands on "Go back to the gate." When his game piece hits the gate, the starting point, a door in the house slams shut. I'll go and check what the noise was. When he gets there, the door is shut. He opens it up and looks inside, but no one is there. He gets a little freaked out, but returns to the table. "Well, April asks as he sits down to watch the game. He just shrugs his shoulders. Amber rolls a 1 and the space says, draw a card. She picks up the card and it says, whispers. Amber hears her name whispered from the living room. She can see the living room and there's nobody there. April rolls a 6 and goes to a spot that says, lose a turn. Round 1 is done, and so far, everyone is safe. Then a voice, spooky and quiet, fills the room. All have taken their turn, and all are still alive. But come this round, and 5 may become 4. It ends with a cruel and cold chuckle. Terry starts round 2. He gets a 4 and joins April in her space. Lucas rolls a 1 and ends up back at the gate. And as he does, another door slams shut in the house. Sam rolls and moves 2 spaces. The space says, skip 2 turns, immobilized. He finds that his feet and arms cannot move. And they won't move till the next round. Of course, he's terrified at what the game has done to him. Amber's turn. She moves 1 space, and it says to move to the nearest draw card. She does as she's told. And it says to move to the nearest draw card. Again, she does what she's told. She draws her card and slowly turns it over. The card says petrified. A loud hiss is heard, and then a pair of reptilian eyes appear on the card and glow brightly. Starting with her face and moving down her body, she is instantly turned to stone. The same voice that was heard at the end of the round proclaims, one has met Medusa's stare, and now a statue is sitting there. So one is lost. Who will be next? Everyone looks at Lucas, who begins to cry. The scary thing is, no one knows what happens at the end of the game. Not even me. And from nowhere, a tissue appears in front of Lucas. April rules, and her space says, move ahead 3 more spaces. The space is marked, free space. Hold this card to escape the Reaper. What card? There is no card, she says. And then the card materializes in front of her. Now it's time for round 3. Terry rolls the die and gets a 4. He's now moved 8 spaces. The space says, this game is hot, but it needs to chill until the next round. And the room, which right now is around 72 degrees, drops to 50 degrees. Lucas is hesitant to roll, but he picks up the die anyway. His die roll is 6. He has to draw a card. After picking up the card, he gulps as he looks at Amber's petrified form. He turns over the card, and it says, buried alive. Lucas vanishes from the table. As the game promised, Sam's arms and legs are moving again, and he rolls a 4. Sam loses his turn. April rolls a 2. The spot says, "Feel a friend on your shoulder." She feels a hand on her shoulder, but no one is there. There were 5, then there were 4, and now there are 3. Which one of you will join Lucas and Amber? The voice threatens everyone else. Terry's next turn finds him drawing a card. The card says, "Turn." His chair turns around 12 times before stopping. Sam rolls his die and sinks down into the ground. April rolls a die and moves 3 spaces. The space says, "Draw a card." She does as the game says to do, and she draws a card, and it says "Sealed up." April ends up sealed up inside the wall. Now you might be wondering why her card that protects her from the Reaper didn't protect her from this. That's because the card that she drew has nothing to do with a Reaper. Again, that voice can be heard. 3 are gone, and only 2 remain. Who will perish, and who will live? The voice echoes. Fear seeps into their hearts, and no one wants to keep playing. The room is scary. Terry's chair turns back around, and Sam rises up from the ground. Terry's space says "bound." Instantly, he is bound to the chair with ropes. Sam rolls a 6 and moves 6 spaces. He has to draw a card. The card says "Reaper's Visit." A tall man appears, dressed in a black robe and holding a scythe. The figure points to Sam, and Sam vanishes. A cruel chuckle echoes through the house. And then the voice echoes, "One is alive, the others are gone. And you have survived, and the game is over." Terry doesn't know if everyone is gone for good, or if maybe, just maybe, they'll be back. The voice isn't done. What it is about to say is going to make Terry sick to his stomach. "Terry, you survived. Do you want your wife and friends back? Do you want them alive?" Terry doesn't have to think about it. He says yes. One by one, they are all restored to life. April looks at the game and says, "Never, ever again." And everyone agrees with her. One wants to see it's put up into the closet and forgotten. But is it forgotten? And is it still in the closet? Or is it in a new place waiting to be bought? Will you play the game? Well, Fleshies, that's the end of our game of Peril. And what a roller coaster that was. We hope you weren't too petrified by the fates of our players, and that you didn't lose your heads in all the excitement. Remember, if you ever find yourself finding a mysterious board game, you might want to think twice before you dice. But hey, if you're feeling lucky, why not roll the die yourself and see what destiny has in store? Thanks for playing along with us. Goodbye, Fleshies. Pleasant nightmares.